welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Good morning, everyone. NFL Sunday pregame on the Sports Box. It is week 10. We are in the double digits. The season is flying by. Anthony Media, Brian Attard, Tony Quigley. We'll see if Drew's on today. See how early he wants to get up out in California. Lots to talk about. Like, follow, and share. We'll break down the trade deadline and the aftermath of that. Some discussion around Arizona, which seems to be a topic coming up a lot on the show in recent weeks. We'll start with the action from Thursday night as the Broncos win a game against a team that they should have probably blown out. 10-7 over the Raiders. Bo Nix, 16 of 28 for $150 and a score with 2 picks. Geno Smith continues throwing picks, 16 of 26, $143. Dobbins getting evaluated for a foot injury, but he had 77 yards prior to. Austin Gentry got in the end zone, as did Troy Franklin. And a Tyler Lockett sighting. Tyler Lockett led the Raiders in receiving. That kind of tells you how things are going. So this was a pretty hot. I don't remember the line exactly, but it sure as hell wasn't 3. So
8.5.
Yeah, that's one of the higher ones, right? So I don't know what to make of this, right? You know, Denver, and we'll talk about this too. Denver's got one of the best records in the league, but they go into this game again, divisional game. I get all of that. But it's kind of one of those games where there's no style points. I get it, but shouldn't you have looked better in this game?
I mean, it's the only person that could look worse was the Raiders. Really, I mean, this was a bad game. This was a game that you were going to see a little bit of changes as with what was going on in the Raiders' offense. You thought that the Broncos, who've been playing relatively well over the last few weeks, would really kind of step and put their mark on there and kind of take it to the next level. And what this was a typical Thursday game of a few years past, because they just been. I mean, the Raiders and Broncos historically hasn't been a bad matchup. It's a game that has interest in both sides, especially divisional and everything like that. So I was expecting probably a little bit too much. But has anybody seen Brock Bowers? Because he came back and did absolutely amazing, 12 catches, 3 TDs, 136 yards, something like in that area. And then he disappears. The Raiders offense was out of sync at a number of different levels. I really had a couple questions when I seen them starting their playbook off with passes to Dante, the kid from Tennessee. The kid from Tennessee, the wide receiver from Tennessee. I'm drawing a blank on him. Dante Thornton, right? Absolutely no. Like since when is that your offense, right? Mayer kind of messed up a few different ways, and it was a weird game from the Raiders' perspective that showed absolutely nothing because Broncos didn't play good at all. They didn't get Harvey involved like they used to, in the last few games. We thought that was going to be a little wrinkle. Cortland Sutton, I believe he was MIA. It was just an ugly game. I don't think either team wanted to be there. So I'm just happy to get past this one.
Yeah, really ugly. Listen, you kind of expected it for the Raiders to struggle against this Broncos defense, which is probably one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league. Under pressure all night. Geno Smith, he said it before, he's throwing interceptions all over the place. So kind of expected that from the Raiders offense. Not impressed with the Broncos offense, though. I mean, they have the players there. I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't move the ball up and down the field against this Raiders team. For Nix to throw for 150 yards, 2 interceptions, I mean, that's not good. You expect more from a team with 7 wins. So this Broncos team's weird. I mean, they've had a bunch of fourth quarter comebacks. They're really like a fourth quarter team. They're playing from behind a lot. You don't know when that's going to catch up to them. So the offensive struggles are concerning.
So again, I saw a stat, right? And it was a comparison between Bo Nix's first X amount of games and like John Elway's first amount of games. And the numbers are kind of similar. And it's kind of why we go back to this idea that the game has changed tremendously, that you really cannot grade the numbers of today by the numbers of yesteryear as a comparison, right? A lot of guys will look to, oh, this player has better numbers than Troy Aikman, so he's clearly a Hall of Famer. And it's like, well, you really can't look at it that way, right? Knicks has potential, is in a great situation. The team is winning games, right? So I just looked at this where, like, again, not to belabor the point, but you should be winning this specific game by a lot more than you did if you're going to be considered one of the teams that can come out of the AFC. In my opinion, I just feel as though you're playing down your competition.
No,
Yeah, but
I agree.
if you look at if you look at their games this year, Brian, I mean they had to win against the Eagles, but they didn't light it up on offense, right? So they're really relying on their defense. They lit it up against the Giants and Cowboys, which we all know how that defenses are going.
Sure.
But then the week before they played the Texans, right? And they won an ugly game versus the Texans. They didn't even break 20 points. So I mean, are we, and earlier in the year, I mean, they're not really a team that's lighting up the scoreboard at all. I mean, they have a pretty balanced attack, which they should. They have a decent receiving core. They have decent running backs. They have decent tight end and Evan Ingram, who's missing. I think what we're seeing with this Broncos team is closer to reality in the last 2 weeks than what we saw against the Cowboys and Giants as far as offensively. They're going to struggle against the big guys if they have to go on a track meet, it seems, because they're not going to be able to they're not going to keep up offensively. That's not what it appears to me. They had a nice win against Philly, and I think they've been riding over that against a couple of big poor defenses against the Cowboys and Giants.
Well, that kind of brings us to the point I wanted to make here, right? So coming into today, I know the Colts are playing right now, but there are 3 teams that have 7 wins. And, we like to tear teams down a lot because we're critique and everything else. And are the 7-win teams so far, the Denver Broncos, the Indianapolis Colts, and the New England Patriots, are they that good? Or are they a result, or their wins are a result, largely primarily of, for lack of better terms, a favorable schedule? But do you look at these 3 teams and say these are contenders to win something in February? And we can go over schedule specifically. I'm happy to bring them up for each of them. We can break it down.
I mean, I think it's more of a generalization, right? Because if you're looking at these teams, I think they're all good teams. I don't think there are any bad teams. I don't think that they're flukes of being 7-win teams. I don't think that they're teams that are going to get you to the next level. Patriots, we're watching with the Colts today, Broncos. I think they're solid teams. They're exactly where they're at. They're playing who they're playing, right? You play who's out in front of you. So I think that this is about what it is. I think the Colts especially is a really good story. Drake May's lighting it up, as far as the Patriots, and the Broncos are kind of doing it with defense and kind of winning these games that pull them out. I don't think there's any surprise, and I don't think it's a favorable schedule. I think that they're right where they need to be.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Broncos and the Patriots, I mean, you got teams nipping on their butts. I mean, you got the Chiefs, the Chargers. I mean, you got the Bills in the Patriots division. I mean, I think the Colts. I think this is an important game for the Colts right now. I think they need to win this game just to keep afloat here because back-to-back losses. I mean, that's a chink in their armor. So, yeah, I mean, these teams can contend, but I think with the Broncos and the Patriots, I mean, they're just in a tougher situation right now.
Well, I wanted to. So this is where let me get this out of the way. So, and this out of the way. So this is the Broncos schedule to date, right? So they've peeled off 7 in a row after starting 1 and 2. Arguably, they probably should have won the game in Indy. Right, kind of remembers that game.
Yeah,
that was fluky ending. Divisional game against the Chargers. I mean, they're a couple plays away from, frankly, being undefeated, right? So,
couple plays away from having a couple more losses too, though.
That's all.
That's
That's
where they're teetering on that line.
That Giants game, that comeback is fluky too. So I mean, yeah.
But like again, when you consider, and again, we'll lose for all the teams here. I mean, their losses came to the Colts and the Chargers. Again, who have they beaten? They've beaten the Eagles on the road. That's not an easy task by any means. None of the other wins do they stand out to you and say okay, that shows you what I'm looking at.
No one else has a winning record.
I mean, some of these games, situations here. So I mean, that Houston game is a good win. I think going there against a very good defense. I mean, that's eking out a victory there really helps. boost
But
your
but when
confidence.
you, I mean, you're looking at look at that Jets game on the schedule, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
if you want to be a team where people are going to say, "Wow, this is a contender," you can't beat the Jets at home 13-11. Granted, they came off the road against a big win against the Eagles, letdown game, all this other stuff. Good teams can't do that. But like I said all along, I think what we see of Bo Nix is what Bo Nix is going to be for the next few years in his career. I don't think that you're going to see a sudden rise like Drake May did or any of these other guys. I think Nix is kind of what he is.
Thoughts on Indy? So again, no, they had a loss to the Rams and they lost last week in Pittsburgh. But again, they beat Denver, right? They did beat the Chargers on the road. But again, when you look at this, like, does anything really stand out to you and say, well, okay, like that's I always word.
I mean, they went to the Chargers and beat them up pretty good. I mean, that's something that you have to kind of say, you kind of have to look at. And they do have that win against Denver, like we just talked about. I mean, it could have went either way, but they're pulling them out. I think that the momentum that what the Colts have, and we're going to see it today. I mean, they're not looking great against an Atlanta team that has a solid defense and whatever they do on offense. I don't know. Michael Penix makes me scratch my head all the time, and especially watching this game today. So, but if they do drop this game to Atlanta, now you're facing at KC.
Yeah.
Back to
I mean, it gets real tough real quick. So, something that they can't they can't drop. And are they
big.
victims of the schedule? Having to go and play in Germany. Hitler's rolling in his grave right now watching the game.
They got to buy after this.
Normally, yeah, they should.
Yeah, so
they're on bye.
Yeah, I mean today's big. They got to pull this game out, in my opinion, because it's going to get tough. You win here, you get a bye, and then you regroup.
Chris Fallon with some very complimentary terms on Shane Steichen.
And they also have a great running back that makes their average running quarterback look pretty good too.
I mean,
which is something he's familiar with.
They've been the most impressive team. You get my point. I mean, offensively, they've been the most impressive. I mean, they're barely punting all year.
Yeah, play calling's been great with the Colts at times. At other times, now I know I sent you that in the chat. The play with Jonathan Taylor, and they actually wound up trying to go for the fourth down. How is that marked short? I mean, he clearly got to the first down marker and he marked it 2 yards short. I don't know how that wasn't reviewed in real time. That's a really head scratcher. And then the 2 play calls out of that to try to get the first, that was another head scratcher. I mean, you go to a slant route at Josh Downs, who changed his number, which it was just a weird series.
Will Pitt, one of the best humans I've ever met in my life. Love that guy. I'm actually surprised these teams are sitting where they are at this point. As the season progresses, I believe mediocrity will set in. Not a slam dunk to make the playoffs for either of them. Go crush Orange. Now, he is a Broncos supporter. That I know.
The hashtag tells it all, right?
I don't know that. I mean, at this point, I think if you can get to 10, you're in. And these teams are already at 7, so I don't necessarily.
Yeah.
I think a lot of their hard work's already been done. I think they'll all find their way in at this point. Well, I guess I can't say all of them. They all should find their way in.
I think, and I don't think that I don't think it's really surprising. I mean, I think, people coming in thought Denver was going to be a tough team. And as you were watching the season play out, I don't think it's like, wow, like we're really getting blown away. Except, we knew the Colts were a solid team besides the turnstile and dumpster fire quarterback and Daniel Jones playing decent football. I think that's the biggest surprise at all 3 of these teams.
When we look at now, again, the third is New England. So,
Bijan is so nasty.
Yeah, he was just.
Can we just not have any more passing in this game and just hand off Jonathan Taylor, hand off to Bijan, and just watch them guys get busy?
We'll just take it back 50 years. So Patriots have peeled off 6 in a row themselves. They lost to the Raiders at home to start the season, but they've been fine since. They beat this Atlanta team. They won 3 on the road. I mean, competition aside, they went into Buffalo and won a game. I think of any of these teams, that's the one you can say, hey, like they went in on the road and beat a really, really good team in the Buffalo Bills. I love Drake May. I think he was the best quarterback coming out of that draft. As Anthony knows, I shared that going in. I will stand by that. No shade to my buddy there. But Like sky's the limit here, and their schedule again. Now they play the Bucs today. Not an easy game. It does get a little bit more difficult towards the very end, but they've got some winnable games here as well. Like Buffalo can't slip up. I think the Pats can certainly win the East at this point.
Listen,
and it may come down to those two games. It may come down to that Buffalo game on the 14th.
I don't expect, even though Tampa Bay's still banged up, I don't expect them to lose to beat Tampa Bay today. I mean, this is just a game that I just don't think that they're as a team ready to take up step that level. Tampa Bay's been a solid team last few years. I think they have it together for the most part. Injuries be damned. And whatever happens today, I don't think that really puts any kind of dull on the season that they're having, because you look through Jets, Cincinnati, New York, they're running through those three teams. I don't see a hiccup there. No. So they're going to get a good momentum going into the bye, and then they're going to be prepared to Buffalo. And
they're a bye week for Buffalo, right?
And they're going to be geared up to Buffalo, and that would be crazy if they beat Buffalo twice in the same season. But you know what? Defensively, Baltimore, I mean, Drake May should continue to have a phenomenal season. I mean that's for sure. If they can figure out what's going on with the running game, they're mixing the ball up every week. Somebody else is catching a touchdown. I mean, they're really doing good. But today they're going to struggle probably. At Tampa Bay. I mean, besides the nice weather and everything like that, Tampa Bay's defense makes plays when they can. But it's going to be a tough win if they pull this out. Look out, because they're really going to be
they're going to run.
Full steam ahead.
I'm not going to say these teams are frauds. I guess that's my point, right? People want
and bro, I don't know if you saw that today.
Yep.
Let's not forget who Drake's brother is. Okay. Legends.
Well, we'll go from one high pick quarterback to another. I don't know what to make of this one exactly. So I was not again, revisionist history, right? When the Cardinals took Kyler Murray, I would have liked to give Josh Rosen one more year, if for no other reason that I put so much into that pick that I have to see that through its poor asset management. Neither here nor there. No. The Kyler Murray era in Arizona has not exactly been overly fruitful. There's speculation he could go back and play baseball again. He's only like 27, 28. The contract does not lend itself to them getting rid of him very easily from a cap perspective. I think he's stuck there unless, something happens. But fact is, that team's looked a lot better with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, right? You can't dispute that. And for all the talent Murray has, and we talk about talent all the time, it's not showing on the field. Jacoby Brissett is a journeyman who's been everywhere, and he's coming in and playing pro ball with this team. And they've not won games necessarily, but they just look more competitive than when Kyler Murray's in the field.
You know what? And I think that's the biggest damnation, because, as a few weeks ago, I bashed on Harrison, I bashed on Kyler Murray, and it's both their fault why it's not working, but you have the devil that is of Kyler Murray and his playing style. The biggest issue with Kyler Murray going against him is that everybody else looks better when he's not there.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison, and his career high already by halftime, 6 catches. That's kind of pathetic for a top. But they were all on time. He was coming out of his breaks. He was expecting the ball, and the ball was there. And that puts a pep in his step. My biggest bash on him was he runs his route, then he quits his route. But, he's watching Kyler Murray running around in the backfield. Guys like Michael Wilson and, have life, a little bit too. And, if they could get that running game together, Jacoby Brissett isn't a bad quarterback, but he's going to be, he's already, I don't know if he did a backup commercial for Progressive or whatever it is, calling it a backup with Trubisky and them guys. But I'm telling you, it's a better movement for her team, but the Kyler Murray pick from the front office, from the door, was a mess, as Brian, you said. But then again, you bring in Cliff Kingsbury, which was one of the worst hirings in the last 20 years. He did nothing at Texas Tech except, and then you bring in his former quarterback and, in Kyler Murray, and it was just a bad situation. And Murray, and Brian, I know you don't like it, but he's a guy that you have to tailor your offense around and have a call playing style of that. And if coaches aren't doing that, which a lot of coaches don't want to, especially because he's little and he's injury prone, it's tough. Jacoby Brissett's going to give this team a kick upward, and I guess Harrison might be a viable receiver for now until then. But Murray's cap hit, you're going to have to eat it. You have to eat it. You have to separate If you want to move on with this team as is in the future, you're gonna have to get rid of them and eat the money.
Yeah, you're right, Tone. I mean, it's pretty simple to see. Brissett could run an NFL offense. Ball's out on time, knows where the ball's knows where he's going. I mean, we've seen it year after year with Kyle Murray. I mean, he holds the ball, he runs around, he'll spin it out, he'll spin out of it on any little bit of pressure, and it throws the whole play off. So, yeah, man. I mean, I agree. It's everyone's value goes up when he's in the lineup, when he plays.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way this works is if they make it a post-June 1st trade, and they have to find a team willing to take the money on top of it. That's the other thing too. Is you can play and say, "Oh, we'll just do this because it lessens our cap impact."
Well, where could he land? I mean, you throw him over in a QB wasteland that is Cleveland.
Honestly, doesn't he have Geno Smith's heir apparent just written all over him in Vegas? Like that's that kind of team that would take a chance on a firmer first round pick at quarterback.
Well, listen, let's also not forget that his benching coincided with the release of the new Call of Duty. I'm just saying. I mean,
he might have.
When we were discussing the contracts, there was huge red flags, and I think Arizona knew there were red flags. Because they were talking about that video game clause in there. They're talking about all these other, like, I mean, is that really something you throw all this money at? And then they got a lot of backlash, right? I mean, it was more like public backlash. I think you had institutions coming out and attacking them for putting that in his contract. I mean, that was crazy. But obviously it was well warranted for.
He agreed to it.
Yeah. Well, but they took it out. So I mean,
who again? Okay, so to that point, right? Who would take the shot? Again, if the Raiders move on from Geno Smith, that's going to be an opportunity. I mean, listen.
I mean, okay, I can see the Raiders just because they've seen a lot of bad QB play in the last couple of years.
But I think to that point, if I could type it be better. You start looking at these teams that they're supposed to be picking high. What if you're the team like the Jets, for example, that maybe you don't finish high enough and you miss on the guy that you want, right? Do you push the issue and force a quarterback, or do you go bring someone like him in? I mean, again, pretty much all of these teams, again, it just depends how the draft goes, right? So if you look at right now, New Orleans needs one, the Jets need one, Miami probably needs one, Vegas probably needs one, Cleveland probably needs one. And then after that, not so much. So I mean, there aren't that many situations where you can say there's a team going to go take Kyler Murray at his dollar amount. It's a lot to ask.
Well, I don't know. I'm just looking at you look at the teams at the top of the draft, right? I don't think Kyler Murray does anything for any of those teams. I mean, Tennessee, absolutely not. They're not going to take Cam Ward is going to be there for a little bit longer for whatever reason. New Orleans is interesting, but I don't think when you look at their offense, they just need too much, and throwing Kyler Murray in there isn't going to be successful. The Jets, why do you hate Garrett Wilson? I mean, it's tough, and I think I would stay with Fields for another year and just kind of get worse till you can actually hit that home run on a solid, quarterback prospect. Obviously, Giants are in there, so the landing spots are few and far between for Murray, to be honest with you. I mean, Vegas, I can see Vegas and Cleveland.
Maybe the Steelers if Rodgers goes on, if Rodgers leaves.
I don't think.
I mean, it's a
not a Tomlin type of quarterback.
There's nowhere for this guy to go. He don't make anybody better. I mean, what receiver has he ever had that he's had a good rapport with? That he's like made, there's that quarterback wide receiver combo. It's like he's never had one because he's just never really. He's always running around. He just can't produce. He doesn't produce that way.
Right. I mean, let's. I mean, I just mentioned Justin Fields and started to keep bringing him up, but I think one of the Jets' problems this year is they haven't been catering his abilities to their offense.
Yeah.
And I think really what you're looking at now is Justin Fields and Kyler Murray are getting very similar to being 1-to-1. I think Murray has a little bit stronger arm. He hits a little rocket for a little guy, but as the same thing, aren't they about the same? Except Justin Fields is a little bit bigger version. You know, I mean, and I think you got to start having that conversation, and it's a tough one for Arizona fans.
They're just gimmick players, right? Like unless you are running this offense with this threat of running around, like they cannot win as passers. And I think Murray's got more passing talent than Justin Fields does. I think Justin Fields is probably obviously significantly better athlete than Kyler Murray is. If nothing else, just based on size.
I just think he's bigger. He's not a better athlete. He's just bigger.
Well, but that helps a little bit. You know, I mean, you can take hits if you need to.
But even Fields has been out this year too. So I mean,
yeah.
It's a tough haul for you to invest money on quarterbacks that don't throw on time, which Anthony has seen firsthand the ups and downs of that. You know, with Caleb Williams, who's playing better, but you know, as we talked about, you know, a lot of times he kind of does a little bit ad lib. He doesn't have as much ad lib as Kyler Murray, but you know, it's difficult, and I don't know if a coach is going to want to risk their jobs on it either.
Sure.
Because how many head coaches has Kyler Murray had now? 2, 3?
3.
Two.
At least
three. It's been 3. It's been 3. Yeah. So maybe the problem is the coaching. Can we get into how unathletic Michael Penix is, by the way?
You're right.
I mean, he had 2 plays where I'm just like, what is this guy doing? I mean, he had like a 500-pound defensive tackle chasing him, and he couldn't get any separation from him. It's so awkward.
Well, let's take a little bit of time to kind of break down what we saw at the trading deadline. The big deals. I mean, again, we talk about the Jets, right? The Jets were involved in some major deals on deadline day. First and foremost, moving on from former 4th overall pick Sauce Gardner, trading him to these Colts who are watching today in exchange for Adonai Mitchell and 2 first-round picks. I think I got the years wrong. Neither here nor there. That's a lot. That's a lot. When you're giving up multiple ones and not getting a quarterback, I'm definitely not a fan of that generally. I'm getting some. Was that him?
Yeah, he almost got it.
All right. I'm getting some vibes of. Why is his name escape? I just said it before the show. Why is his name escaping me right now? Jamal Adams. Thank you. I'm getting.
I hate that comparison. I hate that comparison.
I know you do, but I'm getting. I'm not. I'm just saying it's the Jets moving on from a guy in their secondary that they drafted high for 2 first-round picks. That's the correlation that I'm making.
Okay, I got you. You know, but Jamal Adams was a lot more done at the point where they traded him. He couldn't cover. You know, he's still in the league somehow. I don't know, but it's just crazy how he hangs on. Listen, Sauce Gardner. The problem with Sauce Gardner is, he's a 25-year-old All-Pro, which sounds great, but he's regressed. I talked to you guys before the beginning of the show. Is all they talked about in Indianapolis was Sauce Gardner this, Sauce Gardner that. You know, they really didn't talk about the best running back in the league and John Taylor and this, that, and the other thing. But then you put your money on Drake London. They're talking about he's going to shadow Drake London. Drake London had 4 for 74 and a touch by halftime. So how does that benefit? You know, I mean, way too much to give up with Sauce Gardner for Sauce Gardner. I mean, it's just craziness.
I mean, I think I'm okay with it because I think playing for the Jets, you get disinterested. You know, I just think, I don't think he was playing horrible. So I mean, I think this is good for the Colts. I mean,
was he an All-Pro?
I'm sorry.
Was he an All-Pro? Was he playing at an All-Pro caliber?
No, I agree with that.
That's my point.
But I think they're traded on his potential. You know, bring him in, new winning team, some better vibes. You know, I think playing for the Jets, it means something. I mean, you're just disinterested. I mean, you're not a winning football team, so you move to a better locker room and you get that boost. And he's still a young player. And listen, these draft picks for the Colts, they're expecting them to be late. So I mean, and they're for a year or 2 from now. So I'm okay with it. If they're going for it. So
well, that's the thing.
I can't be mad right there.
I think that they're just they're all of a sudden they think they're contenders, and you know, you can have that discussion on the back of Daniel Jones, and I don't think they expected this, right? And I think that they're trying to again push their chips in when they have a chance to do something. I just think that's a lot to give up for a corner. That's all. I just positionally, like I just don't think that I would do that for that position. I mean, you know, the Micah trade aside, I mean, again, to me, like it's no different than in drafts. Like, I don't like the idea of trading multiple ones to move up in drafts to go get a non-quarterback. I just don't like that. I just don't think that that's a good use of assets.
Well, let's your pass rush, your defensive end. I mean, that's the biggest thing, the biggest mark. And let's not lose the precision here, right? Pass rush is the best pass defense,
Sure.
not cornerback. As soon as they get Sauce Gardner, DeForest Buckner's out. So that hurts right there. They're already a struggling defense, and then they lose their pass rusher that brings it pretty hard up the middle, which is going to help that. I agree with them trying to go out and make a move, and I'm not off on Sauce Gardner. I think the picks are going to be a lot higher than anticipated too. I mean, the Colts are going to make the playoffs, but I don't think that they're they're going to be in. It's going to be in that mid range, the mid higher range. I don't think you're looking at a top 25 pick either. I mean, I'm sorry, 25 into the 30 pick. So it's not going to be so they're going to give some ammunition to move up, and what I would do is I would leverage the 2026 pick into another 2027 pick somewhere, and try to get involved in that and hedge down on it. So I think it's just a little too much for Sauce, but I don't hate the move in regards to try to fill a need.
Jets did well in trade comp.
In getting trade comp, absolutely, that's phenomenal.
Sure.
I mean, they're not like we just talked about. Buffalo asked for offered a first for Jalen Waddle, right? They rebuffed them. Well, because that's probably going to be a 25 to 30 pick when it's all said and done.
What are you going to get that's better?
Then, well, you don't want to trade them in your division too. I mean, that's that. Like that, there's a lot wrong with that trade, but offer anyway.
Well,
let's get to the big one, bud.
Why
bury the lead here?
The Jets trade. I'm just warming you up. I'm just getting you up right. All right. The Jets were also involved in another high-profile trading defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for Mozzie Smith, a 2026 second-round pick, and a 2027 first-round pick, which will be the better of Dallas's or Green Bay's. As you remember, they have Green Bay's from the deal for Micah Parsons, which we'll talk about here in just a second. Tony, I'm going to give you the floor. You were more bullish on this generally than I was, which is fine. But I wanted to let you kind of enjoy it before I bring you down, which I tend to do.
You're not going to bring me down, bro. That's not what's going to happen. And this trade is for the next few years, not just for this year. I mean, I don't expect much return from this year. And when you compile this with the Micah Parsons trade and what they did for that, and you put it all together, it's not a bad deal with everything that they kind of came apart with. When you look at the Micah Parsons deal on its own, don't like it. You look at this deal right here, I'm okay with it. So Quinnen Williams is one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL for the last 4 or 5 years. So you're not going to take that away. Plus, he also makes Kenny Clark better, right? You put him next to Kenny Clark, it's going to be a lot better of a run defense, and hopefully they'll be able to grow together. Plus, you're also, the difference between this keeping Quinnen Williams and Micah Parsons is $20 million, right? $25 million around there. So then that's also a thing that you could think to. So you got to impact players on defense are few and far between, and Quinnen Williams is an impact player on defense, and they were able to get him better cap, and so it's overall it's a great move for Dallas.
Someone without any bias. we're both. I'm not excluding myself. I have bias in it too.
Listen, for me, from looking from the outside, I mean, I agree with Tony. I mean, it sets them up for next year, getting some picks, getting some players on that side of the ball with Quinnen Williams and the other guy they got. What was his name? You just said it.
You're talking about Kenny Clark from the Packers trade, yeah.
Yeah, Clark. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I kind of agree with it. You got to get players on that side of the ball, and I think that's going to be the plan.
I don't like them giving up picks because I'm not sure how good they're going to be next year. It's the better of the two. I would have preferred the worse of the two because at least I can rationalize that.
Yeah, okay.
It's obvious that, to his credit, Jerry Jones wasn't BSing when he said, we're going to fix our run defense. Like they addressed it. They got Kenny Clark. They went and got Logan Wilson from the Bengals. Now they got Quinnen Williams, who is an elite run stopper. I'm not disputing any of that. I just question again to give up to give up the pick next year and it'd be the better of your two. I just don't like that. That could potentially be an absolute disaster. And that nothing to do with, again, I like Quinn Williams as a player. I understand what they're trying to do, but there's secondary issues.
Pull up the standings again, Brian. I'm gonna show you something. Pull up the standings again at NFL. You had everybody, the projected drop order, the tankathon or whatever, you had it up there, right?
Sure. No problem. I'm right there.
Go. Tyler Warren, nice run. There you go.
That ball was tipped.
Carry the one, and there you go. So
all
this is your 2020.
So let's go to that. So Dallas is where? 14th. Okay.
Yeah. That's this
so
year.
say they're finished between 14th and 10th next year. Okay. We'll say they have another bad year. The problem is with Dak, with their current roster, they're not going to get below into that top 10 where you're going to get a player better than Quinn Williams at 24 years old. It's not happening. It's just not. So you're even if you get up a worse pick, you're still getting that. Like everybody is fantasized with the pick. Okay, who was traded? Mazi Smith, who did absolutely nothing. If you pull up the draft picks for Dallas the last few years, they haven't really hit it out of the park besides Michael Parsons. Mm-hmm. So let's keep that. So give me the stud all-pro defensive tackle over an unknown. Okay, that's where I'm at with it, right? I mean, Booker, okay, well, like that. Donovan Ease, I like the Donovan Ease pick. He has a lot of energy. Okay, Tyler Guyton, offensive line, Marshawn Nealon. I don't know how we did not talk about him as soon as the show started, but Mazi Smith, 26, off a pick then, off a pick now. I mean, they there's talent in the draft, but where they're picking at, who's guaranteed, right? They haven't really valued a high defensive lineman pick either. So you're able to get Quinn Williams for that. I think that's a very good value because they're not going to get as bad as the New Orleans and these other teams that really just haven't figured it out. Tennessee walking in. I mean, so I'm fine with it. I mean, as long as Dak is upright, which I know that's not your favorite saying, they're going to be a 500 team or better.
They just got to get guys on the other side of the ball to make some stops here and there. They're not far with their offense, So, I mean, it's like they could just hold,
Yeah, but with their offense, are they going to find a way to keep George Pickens? I don't think that's going to work out.
Too, yeah.
That's not going to work out, I don't think, financially.
He's going to be looking for number one wide receiver money.
Which they already have.
Listen, he's an odd guy. But when you look at it, though, I don't know. I mean, I just think the value's there. I mean, it would.
To your point, rest in peace, Marshawn Nealon. That's a horrible story. He just scored his first touchdown last Monday.
Yeah, I mean, you kill yourself on Sunday. Score on Monday and kill yourself on what was it, Wednesday? Yeah. I mean, that's just crazy. Because he's been having a lot of issues since his mother died and everything like that, and him and Kanye, I guess, off the rails when their miles pass. But I guess you never know how certain things affect certain people. But you think being drafted and scoring a touchdown and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, he really hasn't been too big in the rotation. He's been spot and he hasn't looked awful. I mean, I'm sure that weighs on him as a second rounder, But yeah, it's I'm all in on this trade, bud.
So how the Jets do in the trade comp in this one? Did they get enough?
I mean, what they got for Sauce Gardner and what they got for Quinn Williams, I think Sauce Gardner made out tenfold on that trade because I think when Quinn Williams plays a much more impactful position, and and it's like I said, I don't think that 2027 first round pick is going to be the highest, especially if Quinn Williams pans out. I mean, Dallas offensive line gets healthy, defense stops the run. What's 2027 going to be? Top 20? Yeah, I mean 20 and after. So I'm good with it.
Well, the Jets certainly get some ammo if they want to. Whatever they do.
Oh yeah.
So
they're
they set themselves up for something.
we'll see.
You know what it sets it up for him to make a real Jets move and package all these picks up for a quarterback that doesn't pan out. That's what it sets him up for.
You sure?
Yeah,
sure.
They've been known to do that. Tony, your thoughts on this? So, as it turns out, the Cowboys inserted a poison pill in the deal with Green Bay, which forbidded the Green Bay Packers from flipping or trading Micah Parsons to an NFC East team, probably a very specific one. And if they did that, they would owe the Cowboys their 2028 first-round pick. Now, there's also a similar poison pill for Kenny Clark, who I think is just less likely to be subjected to this. Just your thoughts on that? Like, is that?
That's Jerry trying to stick it to Micah a little bit. That's all that is.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I can't see the Packers actually wanting to trade him to Philadelphia or trade him at all. But that's just kind of like a little, little down south Texas style FU to the Packers and Michael Parsons. Well, not really the Packers, but to Michael Parsons, really.
Yeah, well, and the Eagles are always sniffing around, so they were trying to get him behind the
I
scenes.
could really use a Tyler Warren touchdown soon.
That ain't happening now. But I think it's this is the first I've ever heard of something like this. I mean, I wonder how often it happens.
I've seen deals like that in the past have similar, no trade to certain teams and stuff like that. But I mean, a first is a big
penalty.
Yeah, that's a big flip.
First.
Well, because in essence, that just means they have to get more trade comp to make it worth their while. In which case, that would at least, if nothing else, which again, let's just say Green Bay wanted to do it, then the team getting Parsons, whether it be any of these three teams, presumably the one, have to just pay more to offset that pay. So it would hurt them a little more if nothing else.
It's just a big FU to the Parsons.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it though.
I was fine. I don't do what you got to do. I mean, if you want to make the deal, here's our terms. To quote Michael Scott, our balls are in your court.
Yeah. Don't trade them to our enemy.
Yeah. Saints sold a little bit, not as much as they should have, but they trade Rashid Shaheed to Seattle in exchange for a 4th and a 5th in this year's draft. Seattle looking for some, additional wide receiver help to maybe take some pressure off JSN, who's just been unbelievable this year. Look, they're in a tough race too. I totally get it. I just think that the Saints really could have been more active, frankly.
Saints could have definitely been more active. I mean, tying on to Olave, I think that was a little bit of a mistake. Try to get some younger guys in there as much as you can. I think the thing here that I think we're overlooking in the Rashid Shaheed trade is the health of Cooper Kupp must not be where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, with him, Horton, who we all saw the other night, really kind of steps up, and JSN is continues phenomenal season. That's the thing that really got at his trade is like Cooper Kupp must be banged up, a little bit more than what he didn't play last week. So we'll see if they rush him back or not, or they're maybe just not happy with it, or he lost it. But Shaheed has got a lot of speed. He could take the defense off to the top. So I like the move for Seattle, and I'm not going to say it's desperation for the Saints to get something for somebody. It's like almost like they had to do something. So this is what they did. But I think, they just definitely should have been more active.
I agree. I love it for Seattle. I mean, I thought this was really good. Shaheed's, they're just going to have tons of speed on the outside at receiver with JSN and himself. And you talked about Horton coming along now. So I thought this was a really good deal for Seattle. They're going to have to keep it, they're going to have to keep their foot on the pedal here because that's a tough division. So I thought it was a good deal.
Another wide receiver move, Jacoby Myers was sent away from the Raiders, who I'm sure he's thrilled about. Sent over to Jacksonville, 4th and 6th round picks in this year's draft. Now, Brian Thomas might miss some time with an injury. Is going to be at least inactive today. Travis Hunter's already down. So I think, Jacoby Myers might walk in as their number 1 receiving threat in the short term, if nothing else. Yeah, Jacksonville's been trying to get their offense going. They have a very talented quarterback who can't get out of his own way. Neither here nor there. Thoughts on this one?
Well, what happened as soon as they traded for Jacoby Myers? What happened, right? Brian Thomas Jr. is banged up. You got Travis Hunter on the IR. I mean, I'm a big Parker Washington fan again this week. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think. I mean, with Bowers being out so much, there's plenty of Jacoby Myers opportunities out there, right? But he's been in and out the lineup. Trey Tucker stepped up a little bit. A couple other guys have kind of worked in there, but I don't know if the talent moves the needle for Trevor Lawrence to be able to get him the ball. I mean, he walked into the season with Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. supposed to be a good wide receiving duo and all this other stuff, and that you know very quickly went to shit. And I think a lot of it is Lawrence's fault. So I don't know if this really helps too much.
Yeah, it doesn't move the needle much for me, to be honest. I mean, this Jacksonville team, their offense is just kind of mediocre. So I don't know if it's really going to help. So you got Myers and Washington now as the duo. So, yeah, I mean, they needed the help, obviously. So, but I just don't really do much, I think, to really improve this team.
Last but not least, you got a lot of people going 6 to midnight in the local area as the Eagles bring Jalen Phillips in from the Miami Dolphins in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. The connection obvious with Vic Fangio, who worked with him in Miami. Phillips has missed some time, and by missed some time, I mean missed quite a bit of time to injury. Has been effective when on the field, but as my friend Drew Trammell once told me, the best ability is availability. He's been up and down from an injury standpoint. Eagles still trying to patch their defense up. I mean, they're aggressive. They always are. Not an inconsequential draft pick to give up for.
Yeah, again, this is a typical Eagles move, I think. I mean, they obviously need a pass rusher. They see a guy with, I believe he was number 18 pick in the draft. Talent's there. Talent's there. Like you said, injured often, but I think this is another situation where you got a guy with a lot of talent who's going to get a new lease on life. You know, you're on the shitty Dolphins. You know, I mean, are you really playing 100%? Do you really play with that, with that passion? So now you're coming to Super Bowl champs, a team with high expectations. I mean, all kinds of talent on that team, and you're going to have to, live up to your talent. So I think this is another situation where the Eagles get a guy who I think is going to come in and help right away because he's going to be rejuvenated. So I think this is a good deal for the Eagles. It's a typical Eagles deal.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not like this deal from the Eagles' perspective? I think most of Jalen Phillips' issues was he had the South Beach flu. There's, if you remember a couple of years ago, Miami had a playmaking big time defense. That was kind of keeping them in some games and making some plays, and Jalen Phillips was a big part of that. I mean, getting next to guys like Carter and the rest of those Eagles defensive players is going to be a big lift for him, and it's going to rejuvenate him. And if you look at his role in that, it's just to get the passer.
Yeah.
You want me to shoot up and attack the passer? That's great. And, Brandon Graham came out of retirement the week before, right? And that's just because that was just a need that they had to have is somebody could get to the passer. Sweat's in Arizona, like we talked about. This is a no-lose trade for Philly. But third round, I mean, they're not a team that's going to be needing draft picks in the next few years, but it is a little bit price to play if Phillips winds up just flaming out and doing nothing. That's going to be a big cost. But it's a no lose move for Philly at this point.
I think they're also banking on the idea that if he's there for the duration and then signs somewhere else, they'll get some kind of a comp pick back for him. So you do kind of start to limit some of that from the Dolphins standpoint. They get a pick they can work with right away, and again they're going to be going into whatever rebuild they're going to be doing. So I think typical Eagles move is just about right. I do think that for whatever reason, Howie goes after guys the media likes, and that applies also in drafts, which has worked a little bit well as of late. It's a name player. Fangio knew him in and out. We'll see if he stays healthy. I think that's pretty much. And they also got Jair Alexander, who doesn't stay healthy either, like barely walk anymore.
I mean, Howie made some questionable moves. He let guys go in the offseason. Now he's been trying to patch it up for a while. All season he's been trying to patch up that D end where they lost Sweat. Who else did they lose? They weren't going to pay the D lineman, but losing Sweat and those guys. So, and Rodgers, who's now on the Vikings, the D-back. So Isaiah Rodgers, they let him go. So
he's been playing good too.
Yeah.
I mean, Zaire Alexander makes me laugh. He's cooked in so many ways.
He can't play
I
anymore.
mean, I heard him even I think mentally. I mean, I heard him speaking in an interview about him growing up in Philadelphia or in the summer times, but his mom's from here. I don't know if the guy gets it, but he wasn't even playing for the Ravens. So
No,
on that crappy defense, correct.
that's that's like a move we didn't talk about with Dallas is Wilson. You couldn't get on the field for the Bengals. I think that might be a little bit of tanking ish kind of going on in the Bengals side. So I'm actually interested to see what Wilson will bring to Dallas. But I think with the Alexander, I hope the Eagles put him on the field. Let's just put it that way.
I think it's just a gamble. You add some depth and see what you got. I mean, that's got to be what they're looking at.
Well, didn't their boy didn't he get cut?
Who?
The D-back that always makes
Chauncey.
He's on the Bears now.
He
He played for the Bears last weekend.
Did they pick him up? They picked him up though, right? He was cut a couple weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck with that
last
one.
week.
If you think this game is bad, next week in Madrid is the Commanders and the Dolphins.
I don't think this game's bad at all. Johnny Taylor already hit his number, Brian. We're free rolling. We're free rolling into 1 o'clock, Brian. Let's go.
The 3-5 Falcons at the Indianapolis Colts. Games in Berlin, Germany. It is a 17-13 Falcons lead for the moment as Jonathan Taylor is marching down the field. Coming into today, Indy was a 6.5-point favorite. 47.5 is the number. The number is currently 30, so there needs to be some scoring there. Atlanta allows the fewest passing yards in the National Football League, which is bearing out today, although Daniel Jones is ahead of that number. The Colts are also averaging the most points per game at 32.2. They're below that number too. We talked about the Colts in the open in regards to, are they for real? Are they kind of the schedule? The Falcons are one of the most Jekyll and Hyde teams I've seen in quite a bit in the NFL, where you have games where you beat the Buffalo Bills and you have games where you lose to the Carolina Panthers in embarrassing fashion. And you have a 3-game streak right now where they've lost to the Niners, the Dolphins, and the Patriots leading into today. And they're beating a good Colts team. And so it's kind of like you have no clue what the hell you're going to get out of the Atlanta Falcons on a week-to-week basis. And that's the NFL. Again, Colts driving here. Who needs this win?
I said it before, Brian. I think the Colts need to win this game. And then they get this bye week. And then they got a tough schedule. I think this is very important. I mean, they're not winning this game. I mean, they've got 2 turnovers today, an interception, a fumble. They got stopped on 4th down inside the 10, I believe. So this is an important drive right here. They're marching right down the field, but I think they need to win this game. Losing 2 going into a bye week is not a good feeling.
But at least you get your chance to get yourself right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you're talking about need, I mean, listen, Colts lose, they're 7-3. Falcons lose, they're 3-6. So, I mean, if we look at need, like if the Colts are going to be in that true contender, yeah, they need to win this game. But if you're talking about trying to save your season, this is a game the Falcons need to win.
Well,
I mean, they've been up and down.
I'm not even. That's me just not thinking about Atlanta. Having no regards for Atlanta, I just don't believe in them. So I'm just on the Colts side,
Yeah, I don't really believe in Atlanta too much either. The Michael Penix, every time I watch him play, just scratches my head. Kyle Pitts too. Kyle Pitts, I mean, Penix hits right in the chest, right in the hands.
Yeah,
it was like the very first pass play, and he just winds up dropping the ball. I mean, there's a lot of weirdness going on in Atlanta and their offense. I mean, their defense is good enough to keep them in the games. Bijan Robinson, Drake London are talented enough to kind of do their thing, but when you're looking at a game like this, I'm not surprised that it's a close one. I think the line 6.5, especially with everything to go, having to go to Germany and all this other stuff. It's just going to be an ugly game. I expect Indy to pull this game out, but do they need it? I think that's a little bit overshooting.
Well, I think they're down about 4 points right now. They're 2nd and 11 on the 16-ish. We'll see where that ends up. But from the Atlanta,
you guys are way ahead of me.
I'm at 10:30 on the time clock there. From a Falcons perspective, like you know why they need the win? because they've lost 3 in a row. This would be 4 in a row. Then they got they have a couple divisional games here. We thought they could be a borderline playoff team. They get to 6 losses. I don't know that that's conducive.
Not in the NFC, no.
No.
I'm saying they got enough play. They have enough playmakers on that team where if they make a play here or there and the defense keeps them in the game, I get it. But I mean, just every day, every time you watch them, every game, it's just.
It's the same thing. It's the
things.
same thing you see around the league. It's a struggling quarterback, making decisions.
That sack. How about that sack that Penix took? I mean,
that was a bad one.
Did he think that the play clock ran out? Did he think that the whistle blew? Like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he didn't. He just stood there like he was on the field in warmups, just having to catch, and he just got destroyed. Like, where's your awareness? Where's your pocket presence? It seems like he doesn't have it. And here they're winning the football game in the
that's
their defense. Their defense is playing well. Like I said, the Colts have a couple turnovers. They stopped them inside the 10.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I think that's a big issue too when you look at a lot of these NFL teams, and I know the Dallas game last week too. Take the points, right? I think. I think the Colts. I'm challenging that first down, all the thing. Take the field goal. Like, if they cook the field goal, it's a 1-point game, and you're ready to take the lead instead of kicking a field goal to be 1 point behind. I think teams are trying to leave way too many points on the board. In that series too, I mean, what they did 2 pass plays in a row on it was 3rd and 2. They did 2 pass plays in a row. Like, you not know the guy in the backfield behind you is one of the best in the league. Like, that's the kind of thing that I think they try to get too cute, and it kind of backfires a little bit.
You mean like when the Patriots or the Seahawks tried to throw that ball in the Super Bowl by having Marshawn Lynch?
That's check down Wilson right there.
That looks like it's a 17-16 game after a 34-yard field goal at the 9-minute mark. Guess I'm giving it away to Tony. Tony's like, I've seen this.
You're good. I mean, I've seen the sack already, and I see Josh Downs running wide open on a slant route. So, I mean, I could see him from New Jersey, but he can't see him 20 feet in front of him.
So the Chicago Bears, Tone.
Let's go.
The home game today gets a 2-7 Giants, laying 4.5. 45.5 is the number. Giants have not allowed less than 100-yard rushing since week 6, and that's good for the Bears, who averaged the second most rushing yards in the NFL, 144.4. It sounds like Swift is active and ready to go, which pisses off people like me who have Kyle Monangai on their fantasy teams after a great productive week the week before. We've bashed enough Caleb Williams today ahead of this game, so go ahead.
I don't know why you're bashing Caleb Williams. I mean, I saw a bunch of stats this week about the Bears offense being top 10 in the league, hot scoring points, the improvements to the Bears offense. I see it, so I feel good about it. Today's a day, another day. A team they should beat. They need to beat the Giants here. I think they will. I saw the weather in Chicago. It's going to be about 30-mile-an-hour winds, so I expect them to run the ball today at the Giants. I like both running backs today. This defense just really concerns me. They're so banged up. They're missing Edwards. They're missing Johnson in the backfield, Gordon in the backfield. It's a lot of patchwork back there. You've seen it against the Bengals. So, I mean, right now it's getting this defense to make some stops. I think they generally play well at home, so I like them today home. I'm taking the Bears -4.5. Give me that, and give me a Monangai touchdown. I think they're still going to ride with him with Swift coming back. He's a good, tough running back, and I think today they'll use both of them.
I mean, when I said about Caleb, I wasn't really bashing him, but he still just has that trait where he holds the ball a little bit too long, and that's been what it is,
I
But
agree.
but you see, he has showing progress of coming out of that. Kyler Murray hasn't showed any progress, so I think that's the biggest. It's actually a positive for Caleb Williams is that you can see him no longer making the mistakes that he was making at USC and in last year as well. So I think you have to kind of take that into credit. The other thing too in Chicago is, I mean, that defense has to make a play. I mean, Colson Loveland was phenomenal, right? And it was great to watch. Everything fun, blah blah blah. But like they got shredded by Joe Flacco. You know, you got Jackson Dart coming into this game, high on life, right now. It's going to be interesting to see how windy it is out there because I seen some pregame video over there.
Yeah.
And it's crazy windy. And I think that's why, I mean, this over under, I mean, you would think it would be 60 with these two teams and these two defenses. So I don't know how that's going to play. I'm still going to be a sucker and take the over. I do like Jackson Dart's rushing yards. The Bears backfield is a mess for fantasy, but I think it's a good problem to have for a real life situation. So I'll take the Bears. Do I feel comfortable laying the 4.5? No, but I'll lay the 4.5. I think the Bears win by a touchdown.
I think the Giants just having so many injuries also offensively changes things a lot. I mean, you can
Yeah.
be, I think no matter what the Giants do the rest of the way, like this season's kind of a wash. Giants fans can see where the puck is headed, right? They see they have a quarterback in Dart. Scatterboo came in and really was just a great story. Neighbors will be back, hopefully fully healthy. Like you can see what they're kind of building around. The question now becomes is if the Giants stay with the coaching staff and or the GM that got them to this point. That's a fair question, right? And there's some speculation that if Brian Daboll is no longer the coach of the Giants in a couple of weeks, that Bill Belichick might have some interest in leaving UNC, maybe bring a girlfriend with him to northern New Jersey. Again, you got to beat the teams you got to beat. The Bears got to get a win today. If they intend to be in the playoff discussion, you can't lose home to the Giants.
Listen, I think the Daboll talk is ridiculous because the one thing that you need to have your quarterback have a relationship with the coach, and Jackson Dart is stepping up. And the last thing you want to do is make a change that doesn't correlate with the success of your quarterback. And I think they would have to be really wary. They obviously Daniel Jones being successful and all that kind of stuff with Indy is not New York in any sense of the way, right? In regards to their team makeup. So I think Daboll has to, with the success Jackson Dart has shown and the ability and the positive momentum, you can't make a change at quarterback. GM, feel free. I think didn't he have his daughter or son make a pick or something like that, or ask, remember what was that before they were showing that video, like, oh, who do you want? Like that leave that kind of stuff off the internet.
Yeah, that doesn't help your case by any means. I'm somewhat certain, I'm pretty sure that this is the highest line of the day, and it probably should be if it's not, as the Buffalo Bills at 6-2 visit their divisional rival Miami Dolphins, who are 2-7. They are laying 8.5 on the road. 50.5 is the number. Josh Allen, 14-2 career against the Miami Dolphins, while on the other side of the field, Tua Tagovailoa is 1-9 career against the Buffalo Bills. The Dolphins are in Jets mode, meaning just end the season. This is just one of those things where they're just riding it out to see where it ends up. Buffalo, they need to win games. I mean, they have to keep in pace with the Patriots, who we'll talk about them in just a minute or two. But this is a game where Buffalo needs to go out and win a game. This is one of those James Cook, like 2-3 touchdown type games. Like that's just kind of the way it's probably going to end up. Buffalo, as we noted, tried to acquire Jalen Waddle ahead of this game. They were rebuffed by the Dolphins on their ask. But it's a game Buffalo. Look, again, no style points, but you gotta win and cover this line, frankly. Too.
Let me pause real quick before we dive into this game. All right,
go right ahead.
This friggin' Atlanta game, it's 2nd and 7. You're looking to put the lights out on this Colts team, and you throw a friggin' streak route to Mooney, and then you got Michael Penix missed by a yard. It's 2nd and 7. Give the ball to Bijan. Let him get you to 3rd and 2, and then you give him again and try to see if you get the first down. That's how you should be going out. I mean, this is ridiculous. Now that's
how you lose football games.
That's exactly how you lose football games. Exactly how you use football games, and it's just frustrating to see. This game right here, Brian, let me tell you. Both my opponents in the Survivor pool had the Denver on Thursday night.
Ooh.
I was kind of happy because I knew if they lost that, I would be free rolling in it Sunday, in these games. And I had Buffalo still. And I'm taking Buffalo. Everything I don't like taking in their divisional games. I don't like taking road teams, but you have to do it in a sense. I do like Jalen Waddle to go out there and kind of show a little bit of something with with over 70 yards today. I do like James Cook scoring, 2 touchdowns. I think that's where the value is. I don't see any other value in this game. It's a road game where Buffalo can Buffalo pull away. I mean, they did go and show a nice win in Carolina and hammer a team that was playing well at home. So I think they're going to go hammer a team in Miami that hasn't been playing well at home. So
Taylor, there he goes. Touchdown Colts. Sorry.
Yeah, that's about
he just
right.
ripped off a 60-yarder.
Over 60.
I'm watching now. So listen, Johnny Taylor. Oh well, if he did it was now, yeah. So it's
No flags on the field.
No flags. See, Atlanta, don't give the ball to their
it
guy.
bounced out. That's what I'm saying. It's not a
What
difficult
happens?
game. Look at this Johnny Taylor go. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, that was over an 80-yard actually.
Yeah.
that was quite a bit.
Yeah,
But look at it, just bounce off the line.
It's impressive here. He pulls away. Yeah. Now you don't give if Saquon doesn't get the MVP last year. I mean, can you give it to Taylor this year?
No.
Probably not.
No, you can't. And the reason why you can't is because NFL just took that award away from anybody other than quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you don't give it to Saquon, I mean, how do you turn around the next year and give it to?
I mean, you're talking about all the MVP talk is what Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and honestly, none of them are having seasons like Johnny Taylor's having. So it's not even close. It's just it is what it is. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the 8.5 today. I mean, I'll roll with the Bills with the 8.5 today. I think they go in there and roll. I think they're on a mission. So give me the Bills here. Cook to score 2 touchdowns today is plus 340. So I think that's got some decent value to it.
That does.
So let me ask you this. Atlanta Indy just went for the 2-point conversion
and failed
to try to make it a, what was this,
7-point
game?
They're up
right?
5.
So,
They would have been up 7.
They tried to make it.
Okay, but how about this? How about you go up 6? Because extra points aren't that extra anymore, right? We've seen so many extra points. They already missed one. What are they doing? Take the point. Right now, you lose the game with a touchdown. You lose the game with a touchdown. They don't have to make the extra point. They don't have to make a 2-point conversion. You lose the game with a touchdown. Make them at least score the extra point as well, which is not a given, as we've seen earlier today.
Yeah. I get both sides. I'm sure there's analytics which tell them what they want to do.
Sure, someone's telling them what to do.
Some book somewhere says you're not supposed to split these cards against the 10. Anyway, I think Buffalo covers. You could even take Buffalo to minus 10 and probably be okay, or at least 9.5, just so you stay under that. That 10. Purple matchup as the 3-5 Ravens at the 4-4 Vikings. The Ravens laying 4.5 on the road. 48.5 is the number. Mark Andrews needs 18 receiving yards to become the highest receiving player in the history of the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Jefferson, despite having some flux at quarterback, we'll put it in lightly, 5th in receiving yards this year in the league, 649. JJ McCarthy came in last week. We thought he would struggle against the Lions. I mean, the numbers weren't that great, but they won a game that most people did not think they were going to win. Talk about 8.5-point dogs. They were an 8.5-point dog a week ago. Baltimore's on the revenge tour. It's going into Minnesota today. They can't lose more than a game or two the rest of the way. I think that's just it's interesting because that Baltimore defense is susceptible. So that's why it seems like 4.5 is a little high to me.
Listen, I need Bijan to make some damn catches or something.
I agree with you here, Brian. I kind of like the Vikings at plus 4.5 today. I think this is going to be a closer game. I think the Vikings defense is a little more formidable. That could maybe hold the Ravens here. But I think the Ravens are going to pull it out. What do we got here? What are you showing?
I got here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parlay, 5 for $430, and Tyler Warren ain't gonna score a touchdown. Do I cash it out? Do I make $1.49 on this bet?
Doesn't that suck? It's the last one, and you know you got no hope.
I mean,
You never know.
I guess just ride it. It's
What's he need to get to for you?
I just need a touchdown.
He needs a touchdown.
I mean, it's not entirely out of the realm.
Yeah, that's I might as well just
that could happen in the next play.
Can't even buy. It's not going to happen next play, but it's the only two bets I'm sweating now are Bijan yards overall and the passing attempts for Penix and Daniel Jones. Both are like 32. I've under 32.
I need Bijan to score.
Let's go. Let's root for our bets. All right. I'm sorry. This game right here.
I'm rolling with the Vikings. I'm taking the plus 4.5 here.
I like three things in this game. I like Lamar Jackson's rushes. Okay. I think he's going to be trying to escape the Brian Flores blitz all the time. I think he's going to be active and use his legs. I like Andrews because he's going to be looking to Andrews on those blitzes as well. So I think the 18 receiving yards will be hit in the first quarter. I like Justin Jefferson over 80 yards today too against this secondary of the Ravens. This is going to be like a little bit of a show me, right, for JJ McCarthy. Like, can he take advantage of a huge discrepancy in the Ravens' run defense and pass defense? Minnesota doesn't have a great running game. Andrew Jones is banged up. Mason's a little banged up. Not really been.
Aaron Jones.
What did I say? Andrew Jones?
Yeah, the former baseball.
Yeah, don't bring me back to them days of him patrolling. Yeah. So exactly. Aaron Jones banged up. I don't think that they're going to rely on a running game against this Ravens team, or if they could run. So they're going to have to exploit the pass, and that's going to have to win the game. I mean, they're going to have to do enough to get Algier off the fucking field. They're going to have to do enough.
Seriously, what the fuck?
I'll take the Ravens to win this game. Laying the 4.5 is tough, but I'll do it. But
you're right. That's the thing, is laying the 4.5 is tough, like, because you can't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not betting this game in real life. There's not too many games this week that I do like in real life, but that's the three things I'm in as far as on this game. But I do think the Ravens win it.
To your reasoning, I like Lamar then to score an anytime touchdown. I mean, it's plus 240 today.
Yeah.
I mean, plus 240 for that. That's good value for something maybe you're expecting, Tony. Him running around. So
you are 1st and 10 on your opponent's 32-yard line, and Tyler Algier on the field. I don't understand that at all. I don't have any money in this game. I don't care, but still.
How do you not have any money on this game? What kind of degenerate are you?
The kind that doesn't wake up early enough to put money on this game.
You start at 9:30. What time you wake up?
You're
an adult.
6:45.
Adult. I slept well. I err Minnesota on the Baltimore wins, Minnesota covers, I think, is the likely scenario. Just the way that things work. If you want to watch awful football, I want you to make sure that you are watching this game between the Jets and the Browns, as the 2-6 Browns are a road favorite by 1.5 points over the home Jets. 37.5 is the low over under for the day. Myles Garrett needs just 2 sacks to be the first ever with at least a dozen in 6 consecutive seasons. The Jets have not won 2 straight since weeks 2 and 3 of 2024. The Jets are down their top corner and down their top defensive tackle, and they're not coming back. Cleveland is with Dylan Gabriel in this game. They refuse to give Shore Sanders an opportunity to throw a football to anyone. This game is just ugly. Please don't watch it. Go get a hobby.
This game just hurts in every level, right? Because I mean, the one bright spot on the Jets this year has been Breece Hall, right? If he played, can you start him against the Browns?
Should have been traded.
Can you start him against the Browns? No, I mean, I guess you are if you have him, but that's a bad matchup. Is Q Junkins back against the Jets today? I think he is.
Yes.
Should be.
Put all your money on Q Junkins. Everything, touchdown, yards, everything. Because that's the only thing. I can't see the Jets have much to play for in this game. I think that the air in that locker room has been eliminated, if there was much anywhere.
Whoa, breaking news. Paul Tagliabue has passed away, former commissioner, 84.
Oh. Okay.
There you go, 84. I thought he was already dead, but nah, listen, he was a commissioner when we all started falling in love with his game. So that's
Yep.
and I still remember his signature on balls.
Yeah, I don't know how the Jets even get up for this game today. I mean, like Tony said, I think it's just like the air's out of the building. They know what's going on. I'm taking the Browns. It sounds funny, but yeah, I'm just saying it sounds weird. I'm taking the Browns. I'm going to bet that those Garrett sacks. I mean, right now he's minus 220 for one sack. That's the only option I'm getting.
Yeah,
So I'm sure I'll jump in on that.
can't
But
get two.
I don't.
Not
I'm
getting.
on FanDuel. I'm not getting the option for 2 sacks. They're just giving the
Oh,
option for one.
well, they had a great week.
So yeah, right. Um, so yeah, give me the Browns here, and yeah, I would jump on Junkins too. Anytime touchdown, his yards. Not watching.
I can't. I mean, I'm just going to be having the red zone on today, and I don't think that we're going to see this game too many times. And here's the bad part. This is a winnable game for the Jets if they actually use Justin Fields and Brees Hall and all that kind of stuff, Garrett Wilson properly, but they just don't. So I think they'll flounder, and I think the Browns will just run the ball more effectively.
Sorry, I'm breaking this news.
He's still in. He's still getting the ball.
They hate you
right now. Gotta be.
At least they hate us both, Ant.
It's every week. It's every week. Something
they just hate you.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I don't want to watch this game. I don't even want to talk about this game. You know what game I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Tom Brady Bowl. The Tom Brady Bowl, the 7-2 Patriots at the 6-2 Buccaneers. The Bucs are a 2.5-point favorite at home. 40.5 is the number. Drake May leads the NFL with a 74.1% completion percentage, while Baker Mayfield is 0-2 career against the Patriots. Somebody asked Tom Brady who's rooting for. He said, "Don't ask me who I'm rooting for in this game." Look, this is the game of the early afternoon between two good teams. The Pats rushing attack leaves a lot to be desired. They decided to put a high pick into Traven Henderson, decided not to use him. The Buccaneers have a bunch of injuries to their wide receivers, to their starting running back. That changes things a little bit. This is going to be an excellent game that I think is going to be very close. And the spread indicates that.
Unfucking believable. Unbelievable.
Algiers still in, huh?
He's first. He's
of
going to be
course.
first and goal from the one.
Of course he's in. Of course.
This is what is he staying on the field?
Of course.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Raheem Morris is a piece. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, as you were.
I can't hate on Algier. I mean, I think he's a solid back.
No, he's very good.
And look at this kid. Just now you need Bijan. Get Bijan in.
Nope.
Listen, this is all. You know what this is setting up, guys? This is all setting up for a Ty Warren game-winning touchdown. That's all.
You're right. You're right. For this game today, I'm gonna roll with the Bucs. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be tough for the Patriots today. Bucs coming off a bye. I mean, they get Ibuka back. You still got Baker. I mean, White is still a good running back. Their defense has been playing well. This is going to be a challenge for the Patriots. I'm going to roll with the Bucs today. I'm going to take that minus 2.5. Probably take the over too. I think there's going to be points scored in this game.
That is a touchdown by an Atlanta running back.
I fucking hate life right now. This is how my Sundays start. Just losing by one.
Falcons going to go for 2, as they should.
Yep. But wow, they walked right down the field on the Colts there. So this is going to come down to Danny Dimes here.
Indiana Jones.
I like to call him Indianapolis Jones, more specific.
Well, I can't believe what I'm witnessing.
Listen, this last 1 minute and 44 seconds, going to see what Jones is made of. Really,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Atlanta defense has allowed some big plays to Pierce and everybody else except Pittman. Pittman's been uninvolved in this game at all, which is a little crazy. So we'll see if he gets involved in the last few minutes. But I don't know. Give me a 75-yard slant to Ty Warren to end the game, and we'll be dancing.
Well, let's see if they need it, and they do because there's a Drake London.
Oh, they got that on sauce right there. That was 1-on-1.
Yeah, which is Drake London is gonna abuse him every day, and so I don't give up.
2-1s.
Watch this right here. Watch this. Ooh, oh, we slipped a little.
He slipped earlier in the game too.
Get some better shoes, kid. Tony, your thoughts on the Brady Bowl?
I mean, damn, he really toasted him. Oh, that's bad. Thoughts on the Brady Bowl? I like the Bucks. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the over-under is a little high. I don't think it's going to be a shootout that's projecting. I think May will be effective, in the short routes to keep it underneath. It's going to be hard to get over this Bucks defense. See how it comes with a big was it Kate Otten? I think he has a big game today against the Patriots, and as they concentrate on Mbuke. So I think Baker gets it done at the end. Laying 2.5 ain't too bad because I think it's 3. Be a 3-point game, but I'm not touching it. There's not enough in it. But I think this is finally going to be a good game after we just talked about the Jets.
Staying in the South, the 1-8 New Orleans Saints will visit the surprise 5-4 Carolina Panthers, who are 5.5-point favorites today. 3.5 is the number. As we said a week ago, the Saints have not had a rookie starting quarterback win a game since 1981. Bryce Young's won 4 of them in a row. That's the longest streak of his career. Panthers went into Green Bay last week and took out a lot of survivor pools and parlays and everything else by beating the Green Bay Packers. They're an interesting team. I thought that they would just kind of show some growth and that would be enough. They're probably going to be in the discussion at the end for possibly a wild card spot in the NFC, which is kind of crazy. But good for them, kind of showing some life. I think they probably get a win today, right? I mean, they're at home. They've beaten better teams than the Saints at home. They should win this game at home.
Big Rico Dowdle day, right? If you're not a believer, you guys just got to be a believer now. Chuba Hubbard's banged up. I like Rico. I like him to hit the was it over 100 rushing and receiving combined. We'll get on that. Throw that in a little bit of parlay, but I think Panthers. I think they beat them up a little bit. And it's going to see if this team is a real contender for being a good team. I don't think they're a contender. They're not a contender for actual, winning a playoff game, despite what Chat GPT just broadcast that they're going to beat the Eagles in the playoffs. But I think it's a show me game, right? Panthers should have Saints come in, take care of business, blow them out, and they could kind of assert their dominance in that division to kind of show that it's them and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. I mean, I'll roll with the Panthers today. I would hit it on the money line. I'm actually not really comfortable with this 5.5. I think the Panthers' success comes from their running game. I think if they get that running game going, which they have, they're winning ball games. So, yeah, I'll take the Panthers just to win today. I like all Rico Dowdle today also.
Real quick, I want to go back real quick to the Bucs game. Tony, Jalen Hurts or Drake May today? Or tomorrow, this week?
Fantasy-wise?
Yep.
That's a good one. Hurts has all his weapons back. I'm going to roll with Drake.
Would you start
because even
TreVeyon Henderson or Rachaad White?
TreVeyon Henderson. I just think that the Bucs are kind of mixing things in. I think that Patriots run defense is a lot better than their pass defense, and I think Baker and crew are going to be trying to truck the ball around the yard and not and if that's successful, I think they'll have to come back.
I don't know what just happened here. Oh,
bad sack.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Panthers cover this. I do. I think they win. I think this is more like a 20 to 13 type game, something like that. I don't think the Saints are going to do much offensively. AFC South, a 5-3 Texans, 5-3 Jaguars, 3-5 Texans. Jags laying 1.5 on the road. The Jags have averaged just 16.3 points per game since week 6. That's 29th out of 32 teams. The problem in Houston is not their defense. They have the number one scoring defense, number one total defense. The offense has let them down repeatedly. These two teams tend to play some wild games, though. If you go back through the years, there's always kind of crazy shit that goes on between these two. That 1.5 is interesting. I kind of lean towards Houston in this one to just flat out outright win. I don't think I need the 1.5.
Yeah, this game's interesting. We got Mills starting a quarterback for the Texans, correct?
Yes.
Davis Mills, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He's next man up.
I don't know who's going to score in this game. I was looking down at the totals. Everyone on the anytime touchdown is at plus money in this game. I believe it starts at plus 150, and then it goes there from there. So not many points scored today. Yeah, give me the home team. I'm going to take the Texans today. I think Mills does just enough. I think the Jags are still – they don't match up well with this Texans defense. So give me the Texans today.
Up. They converted the 4th and 8. They ain't dead yet.
4th and 8?
Yeah. Your best bet's a game going to overtime here.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, my best bet if he just throws Ty Warner a touchdown right now. It's because what did they false start? Because I have 4th and 2 right here. I'm behind a little bit. They must have did like a false start or some bullshit.
Yep, they're on the 30. They're in range.
They're in field goal range right now. So
we got ourselves a good morning game. Finally.
Hey, I mean, you kind of expected that off of these teams, right? I mean, let's kind of know.
I think Danny Dimes is bleeding in his mouth.
The one thing let's talk about this Jacksonville Jaguars Texans game.
That
real
looks
quick.
like blood to me. Maybe can't tell. He's checking himself. It looked like it was very I don't know. Sorry. Go ahead.
So in this game, the one thing you got to look at is Davis Mills' infatuation with Nico Collins. Double-digit targets last 2 games. There's going to be an uptick on against the Jaguars. Get into Nico. Get into everything. Get into catches over, targets over, and yards over. I mean, I'm not betting on anything scoring a touchdown, but I do like Nico and his catches and yards. I think he returns to form to what some of the people who drafted him in the first 2 rounds are expecting. Because it seems like Davis Mills is actually able to see him, and which C.J. Stroud had an issue with this year.
Yeah, I mean, Mills isn't shy. I mean, he gets in there, he slings the ball around. So
wasn't he the number 1 recruit coming out of high school this year?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think from Sanford. So I mean, he's a kid that he's a kid that is has some confidence, going to be able to throw the ball. Not a I mean, to see how he plays with Stroud out too. If they beat this Jags team and might have Stroud on the bench a little bit longer.
What just happened here? Did the Falcons call a timeout?
They did. I think so.
I guess that's smart. Save some time, right? Yeah, I do like Houston to win this game. I think they find a way. Just my thoughts on the game. Moving to the late games, the 3-5 Cardinals against the 6-2 Seattle Seahawks, who I still would have finished in last place because I don't know anything. They're a 7.5 point favorite today at home. 45.5 is the number. Arizona is averaging 5.1 more points per game with Jacoby Brissett as the starter. For the Seahawks, they've won 8 straight against Arizona, but those 8 were not against Jacoby Brissett. We have a tie football game.
That's good. Yep.
7.5 is interestingly high to me, given how well Arizona's played the last couple of weeks, right? They were up against it. Well, I think it was up against the Colts, right? They were right there until the very end.
Yeah.
So like, I feel as though, right. So the Cardinals screwed me out of some serious money recently when I had Green Bay minus 5.5, which was below the line. Didn't care about me, obviously. So the last win, Arizona's win in Dallas broke a 5-game losing streak. They've been in these games. The last time, so Arizona has not lost a game by a touchdown all year. Their losses are by 1 point to the Niners, 3 to Seattle, 1 to Tennessee, 4 to Indy, 4 to Green Bay. That 7 just seems high. I'll be back in a minute.
I agree with him here, Tony. I like the Cardinals here plus 7.5, and I think it's going to be the Ohio State receiver, the boys at their day. You're going to have JSN versus Marvin Harrison. I think those two are going to have a good game, and yeah, I think this is going to be a close game, division game.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona stepped up and defensively last week, right? Their offense didn't look great. It's just the Cowboys defense broke at bad points, right? They gave up a lot of third down conversions. I don't know if that's going to be able to have the same metrical hold than doing that against Seattle. It just didn't seem like, Seattle's going to have a much better defense showing against the Cardinals than the Cowboys did. I think that's why you see this line so high. Brissett's a good story. Offense looks a little bit better. But listen, I'm taking McBride. I'm taking JSN. I'm still can't stomach betting on Marvin Harrison Jr. until he shows me another game. But he did look good against somebody that, you got to show me something other than a Cowboys secondary,
and
right?
he's getting looked at. I mean, Brissett's, it seems like it's the first look. If it's not McBride, it's Harrison. So I mean, he's getting looks now at least. So I think that really is going to help him.
And it'd be interesting to see if the Seahawks could run the ball.
Who's that? That Mooney?
Yeah.
A horrible drop.
Yeah.
What an asshole. Sorry, as you were. That's a horrible drop. They hit him in the hands.
I mean, the guy can't catch. He's fast. He's Featherstone. Darnell movie is Featherstone. Basically, you saw it a couple years in Chicago.
I know that. Yep.
It's kind of what the guy does, And yeah, that was a bad catch. Oof, wow. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I like Seattle in this game. I'm not touching the 7.5. I just think this is going to be a close game, a 4-point game, something like that. But I do like Seattle to win it. JSN McBride is who I'll be chasing after, and we'll see what goes on with that.
This is a very, very, very interesting game to me. The 6-2 Rams at the 6-3 Niners. The Rams are a 5.5-point favorite on the road against the Niners, a team that lost to the Niners at home by 3 points earlier in the year. That's fishy. Decently high over under just under 50. Matt Stafford leads the league with 268.4 yards passing per game, 21 passing touchdowns. That should be not a surprise to anyone. The Niners defensively are not the Niners we recall very easily. They're averaging just over 1.1 sack a game. That is the worst in the National Football League. Doesn't that spread seem a little bit high for two divisional 6-win teams when the team just beat the other one in their building not that long ago?
I mean, yeah, the spread seems really high. I mean, there's something very odd about that. But here's the thing. If you look at how these teams match up, 49ers secondary is awful. And what did the Rams do? They chucked the rock, so you kind of have to expect Rams to be very successful. I don't know. I mean, Mac Jones hasn't been playing awful. I mean, you still have CMC. You're right. This line smells a lot. I like the over-under. I think this team hits 50. I think it's definitely like a 27-24 game or something like that where you see the 50 points eclipse, because I do think the 49ers with CMC got to get Kittle involved a little bit more. But the Rams should be able to score against the secondary. So that's the only thing else. Line, everything else stinks. So that's what I'll be touching.
I'm rolling with the Rams with this line. I think offensively they're rolling. I think the Niners are just so banged up on defense, and I think I just see I could see the Rams coming in here and running it up on the Niners. So I'm taking this line. I'm taking the Rams -5.5 here. I think Devontae Adams is going to score. His rapport with Stafford is unbelievable right now. They're every weekend hooking up. So yeah, I'm taking the Rams here.
I think the Rams win the game. I just think that 5.5. It seems like it shouldn't be that. Again, you're a divisional home dog, and with a team that's right there. I mean, the records is what they say they are. I think the Rams are a better team. Niners have question marks, but I think the Niners cover the 5.5. In my opinion, I think they find a way to do that.
Okay.
Last of the afternoon games today is the Washington Commanders hosting the Detroit Lions. Detroit's an 8.5-point favorite on the road. That thing has a lot to do, not just with the Commanders being terrible this year, but no Jaden Daniels, who had an injury. 8.5-point favorite, 4.5 is the number. Goff is top 5 in the league in completion percentage, passing touchdowns, and passer rating. And it looks like, if this number is correct, that all 3 of the last Washington losses have been by 20 or more points. That is correct. They have lost 3 weeks at Dallas by 22, at the Chiefs by 21, and home to the Seahawks 38-14. That's not good. Not only are you not scoring enough points, you're also allowing quite a bit. Detroit should have an absolute field day later today against
They
Washington.
should, but I mean, what was that Detroit team that showed up last week? I mean, I know that just destroyed my bank account.
Yeah.
My bet on everything like that. I mean, you expected them to kind of make, Tanner ship, and they moved the ball around. Like we said before the game started, they were looking to move the ball around. They were getting people involved and everything like that. But it was the guys who got you there. It was the Gibbs that didn't do anything. Montgomery, like these guys were MIA. I mean, I don't remember what St. Brown had off the top of my head, but I don't remember him being extremely impactful in that game. And then the defense couldn't stop Minnesota. Now, okay, they have the Commanders team who's reeling. They have no McLaren. They have no Jaden Daniels. They should go out there. This game should be a game. 21 points, 44-10, something like that. If the Lions really are that team, and the Lions, no pun intended, have some teeth about being a Super Bowl contender this year, they have to go in there, and blow out a team. The Bills did it a couple weeks ago against Carolina, which they said, okay, and I had questions because Carolina's playing good at home about that game. I don't have questions about this game. The Lions must go in there and destroy them. Gibbs has to run all over this defense. Jared Goff makes everybody look great. And, this game should be over by halftime. But we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know how the Commanders are going to keep up with the Lions here. Yeah, I'm taking 8.5. Give me Detroit. Give me St. Brown. He's been on fire, so I could take him anytime touchdown over 90 yards. So, yeah.
Why was Jaden Daniels still in that game last week? What sense did that make?
Good question.
I guess, yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, I understand players don't like being pulled out on any level, but at the same time, there was no reason for him to be there. Only bad could happen. I mean, it's not a guy who's been extremely healthy, and this is a fluke injury. He's been battling injuries off and on all year too. So you get him out there, you get him some work, you move on to the next game. I mean, they should have been focused on this Lions game by the fourth quarter hits. They should have been focused on this Lions game. So I don't know about Quinn and some of these guys, or it's just bad luck. Because I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the graphic of how many injuries happened in that portion of the field. But a lot in Washington. So it's just weird. And it's not anything to do with the turf or nothing like that. It's just, I don't know if there's a ghost. Maybe that's actually where Hoffa's buried in DC and not in the Meadowlands. But
I just look at this game. Yeah, the Lions are going to eat today. It's not going to be pretty. The Washington's defense is not good. Their offense stagnant. I mean, they've talk about a team that's just kind of come off of a high really, really, really quickly. And we kind of said through last year, like, are they a bit of product of their schedule? And here we are. So,
well, listen, their fan base is probably thinking about RG3. I mean, they're
sure,
just the snake bit right now, and you got a
You know-
coach
you know-
that left your guy hanging in the game, so it's like,
well, you know what's funny too? Who was Canty on the show on ESPN in the morning said that Jaden Daniels was better than RG3. Not when RG3 got hurt. Not at that point. I can't agree with that at all. I thought that was a little weird to say that Jaden Daniels was better than RG3 and RG3 before he got injured. I
Yeah.
couldn't see that at all. Not at all. I thought that was a weird statement for him to make.
Lions win. Interesting game tonight as I could actually work the thing here. Is the 5-3 Steelers at the 6-3 Chargers. Chargers laying 2.5, 45.5 is the number. Aaron Rodgers 0-2 prime time this season. Justin Herbert 3-0 prime time this season. It's a game where it's a little interesting, right? So the Chargers are trying to keep pace with the Chiefs and the Broncos. The Steelers are trying to hold on to their tenuous hold on the top of the AFC North. I think the Steelers will have to win this game defensively. I think if their defense can hold the Chargers down, that'll open up the offense to have a bit of a shot. Other than that, I like the Chargers in the game.
If Drew was on here, he'd probably be crying because they have no linemen left. His poor guys are all getting hurt, and I think that's a huge deal for the Chargers. I mean, I like the Steelers in this game because of that reason. I think they're coming off a high, playing well, beating the Colts last week. I think they could come in here with this beat up offensive line and really give the Chargers an issue. So I'm going to take the Steelers here, money line, outright to win this game tonight. I think all out is an issue for the Chargers.
I'm looking at the stats right now, and this overtime is going to cost me a sweat on my overs for the passing attempts. I mean, they both barely broke 20 in regulation, and now it's ridiculous. And you're right, and I understand Drew not here, Chargers fan, and everything like that, and obviously you say, as a football fan, I'm Slater being done in the beginning of the year. Now you have Alt hurt. I mean, you have two of the best young linemen in the NFL. Just their seasons are done. I mean, and we talk about how great of an ascension Drake May has made, but let's not forget the play of Will Campbell that helps that. So, and I think that's what a lot is Bijan Robinson hurt?
I can't with this anymore.
Because I mean, Tyler, I need like 20 yards.
Isn't he on the field? He's number 7, right? Yeah, he's on the field.
Okay, I'm a little bit behind, and I just seen Tyler Algier have a carry. So
I just saw Mooney caught a ball from the other side of the ocean. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at with this Chargers team. It's a shame that's what's happening, and it's going to be interesting to see if that correlates with a regression from Herbert, because it very might well. I mean, Vidal was absolutely useless last week. Who knows when Marion Hampton comes back? And looking at this defense, I mean, looking at this offensive line, it's one of the things where you're like, this, where are they going to be at when it's all said and done? This is a Steelers line at 2.5, really. I'll stay with Quentin Johnson, receiving yards, and I'll probably be on DK a little bit. But I think that was such a bad throw by Michael Penix.
Yeah, it was.
He was so open. I mean, I have no faith in this guy at all. But you see what we felt with Kirk Cousins too. So
this Charger team, it's going to fall a lot on Herbert. I mean, it's going to put a lot
it always
of pressure
does
on him. Yeah, because I mean, they're running like Vidal no show last week. How consistent their running game is going to be, and it's going to be everything on this guy's shoulder. So it's going to be tough, and it's going to be starting tonight.
They're going to look. Herbert is a unicorn. He built a quarterback in a lab. It's Justin Herbert. The Steelers defense is very good. That's not a shot against them whatsoever. I think just in this position, I think that they are going to have to air it out probably more than they want to. The
Steelers defense has been playing better. I wouldn't say that they're good though, bro. I mean,
it's still the Steeler defense. I mean, by no means have they been getting blown out in games.
Listen, if you have T.J. Watt and you have no offensive linemen,
you got to play. Yeah, you got some playmakers. That's true.
You know what I mean? It's an issue. He can wreck a game.
Yeah. So I will go with the Chargers there. The Monday night game has a Eagles team at 6-2 visiting a 5-2-1 Packers team who couldn't beat the Panthers at home a week ago. They are laying just 1.5 points. 45.5 is the number. two teams that do not turn the ball over. The Eagles have the fewest with 3. The Packers have the second fewest with 5th. Really interesting kind of game, right? So again, the Eagles are coming off their bye. The Packers probably didn't really show up last week in those weird jerseys they were wearing. This is a rematch of where the season started last season. It's a rematch of a playoff game between these two last season. So, I mean, there's been some talk there. Parsons knows the Eagles well, being formerly with the Cowboys. This is a really, really interesting game.
Yeah, it is. And it's tough to gauge after watching the Packers last week. It's like, were they looking forward to this game and just dismissing the Panthers because they just did not show up to play? So it's hard to gauge. They're not even catching, the 3 at home here against the Eagles coming off a bye. I like the Eagles here. I think the Eagles are going to go in there and win coming off a bye. Their offense is progressively getting better. I mean, the passing game has been getting better. So I think they come back and feeling rejuvenated. And I'm going to take the Eagles here. I need the Packers to lose, to be honest.
The other thing too is, I mean, if you look at this, the big Micah Parsons, addition, it really hasn't impacted too much on their defense in regards to giving up, too much points. I mean, they gave up 25 to the Steelers, 23 to the Cardinals. I mean, the offense has a score. I mean, they held the Panthers to 16, but they lost. So I like the Eagles in this matchup. I just think that they're going to run the ball. Josh Jacobs has been banged up way too much. For them to have any kind of effective running game. And I think the reason why, even though, they have a solid record, it's Jordan Love. People don't know what you're getting with him out, from a day-to-day basis. And, that I think that's an issue. Receiving core, all kinds of questions on that.
Lost Kraft.
That's a big one.
Lost Kraft. But I like Musgrave. I do like Musgrave. I think, he had a lot of talent coming out, and I guess, in that position, if you're just talking about fantasy wise, I think Musgrave is going to have a nice little uptick and help some of these people who need them in fantasy standpoint because of just how that offense runs. Watson's back, Dobbs, blah blah blah, with all everything. I think just the Eagles with what they're going to be able to do against the Packers offensively, which if they're smart and commit to the run and everything like that, I think that's going to be a little bit better than what anything Packers can come up offensively.
It looks like the Colts are going to put this game away here.
Jonathan Taylor is ridiculous. I mean, and oh my God, what's he? He's over 230, I think, today.
What's the record? It's not 230, but
he was just at 218. Boy, yeah, just keep. I mean. Yeah, this one's a wrap.
I mean, they're not going to miss a 5-yard field goal.
They're running it right into the end zone. They're not even going to try to kick a field goal. Probably.
There's no need to. I think Green Bay wins this game. I think they come back from that loss against Carolina. Eagles coming off a bye. I'm going to be really interested to see how they try to officiate the tush push. I mean, the conspiracy theorist in me tells me that they're overly screwing it up to have more of a base to get rid of it.
They're not running into that much, Brian.
It's still because they're trying not to make it go away.
Well, I mean, even on the goal line, they've been. There he goes, game.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Touchdown.
Not Ty Warren.
Nope.
No. This was a black man. It was not Tyler Warren.
Over 200.
I tried to.
Over 200. Did I go? I hope I didn't go against him in fantasy.
244 and 3 scores.
I went against him in one league, but I have him in like 3.
He had 11 less rushing yards than Jones had passing yards.
Wow.
I'm watching it now. But nice cut, great block, like good kick out block. I mean, it's just it's just good execution all around.
And it's all they did. They ran the ball. They didn't even throw the ball. They ran it right down the field. Oh, Warren, good block. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great kick out block there. But nice if you caught the touchdown, I would have won $500, but whatever.
Yeah, Bijan.
I guess he didn't think about that one, but I can't blame him. I mean, you can't have Danny Dimes throw the ball in that situation. But
I agree.
I just lead to believe, like when you watch these games, I mean, what they're doing, in the earlier the game, I mean, it's like okay, this is where a coach gets it, right? Like the money's on the line, the game's on the line. They're not looking cute with slants to Josh Downs and that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know.
Get it to your guy.
Who's number 3? Is that Bates?
For Atlanta?
Yeah, he got friggin' destroyed. Nice little cut, but well, hey, Sauce Gardner's paying on dividends already.
1-0.
There you go.
He had nothing to do with that win.
Well, that wraps up week 10. We will catch you next week to preview week 11 with some crazy results that we're probably going to see today. That's pretty much the way the NFL goes. On behalf of the boys, thanks for watching. We will catch you in a week. Hope all your bets are profitable and hope that you don't get screwed at the end by someone not scoring a touchdown for you, like Padre.
That's too late. It happened already.
It's over.
I tried to hurry up and see if the cash app option was available before he ran the ball there, but it was not. So, well, yeah, it's nice to look at. I'm in a decent sized league with a 64 spot put up by Jonathan Taylor.
Holy shit!
It's a big game. Listen, let's win any which way you can, right?
Yeah, I just try to keep rolling him. I won Dynasty League. I have Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, and McCaffrey as my 3 running backs.
It's not bad.
So,
Wow.
it's not too bad.
You could do worse.
Daniel Jones was my starting quarterback today with Mahomes out, but
nice recovery. All right, guys. Catch you next week.
All right, boys.
Now.
Good luck today.
All right, guys. Take care.
Peace.